Hello everybody, thank you very much for coming to the workshop. Once again, my name is Mike Cervantes and I am your class media lab assistant. So we're going to complete our workshop assignment, which I had given to you in the email the week before and in an instructional video. We're going to be making a 1080 by 1080 image that is going to be very easy to post on social media sites like Instagram. Okay, so the first thing I want to ask, everybody did watch the instructional video, right?
Yep.
You guys have a basic idea of what you would like to do?
Yep.
Well, what you may need to do? All right, so what we can do is we can do this one of two ways. One is that, I can just slowly read out the instructions of what I would like you to do, step by step, and then you guys can go ahead and follow along on the computer. Or I can go ahead and I can allow you guys to work, and if you guys have any questions, you can raise your hand, and I'll be over there in order to give you any assistance. Which would you guys prefer? Okay, he says two. Anybody else?
Kind of like step by step.
Two?
But
Mm-hmm. So what would you prefer? You would like step by step or?
I prefer step by step.
Okay. So I'm good, since it's mostly going to be this group in the back, I'm probably mostly going to be giving instructions to the group that's over here on this side of the room. Everybody else, if you feel like you can go ahead and you can move forward, go ahead and get started. There are some shortcut keys and there's some information here on the board. If there's anything that you need specifically to figure out, and also feel free to ask me a question. All right. So over here for this group. Okay, so you're going to start by going to Finder, double-clicking on the Finder icon. And then going to the Applications tab on the Finder folder. Let me come over here a little bit. Yeah, Finder. Yeah, it's Finder. It is the happy face shaped icon that is on the very lower left hand corner of the toolbar. Did you see it? Yes. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and click on that, and then click on the Applications tab. And then double click on the folder that says Adobe Photoshop, and then click on the Photoshop icon. Okay, so go ahead, double click on the icon, open Photoshop. Okay, click OK on that. All right, so if you see a sign-in screen, you're going to sign in using your full university email and then your password. Okay, so you're logged in. I'll just wait a second for you. And you're almost logged in. Okay, very good.
So I might have a problem.
What's that?
I've used this before.
What, you've used your login before?
I've used my school, or I've made a school Adobe account,
Uh-huh.
and
Well, let's see if there's any difference. No, you're logged in. That's perfectly fine.
awesome.
All right, okay, so now everybody's got Photoshop open. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to take your thumb drive or your portable hard drive. I want you to insert it into one of the USB ports in the back of the monitor. Okay, you're set up?
Yeah, so I forgot my thumb drive, but
Okay.
I did just airdrop the file to the computer.
I mean, yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Okay, yeah, I was like, I couldn't find it. I had it, and I was like, I can't find where I had it, so I got it.
Okay, so everybody has your thumb drive inserted now, right? Okay, so go ahead and double click on the drive icon that appeared once you open your thumb drive. Okay, take out your image and then drag it onto the desktop section. That is the section that's outside of Photoshop. This section right here.
Oh, I'm just waiting for the hard drive.
Oh, you're sharing hard drive with her then. All right. Okay, so you move your photo onto the desktop, right? Okay, so this is what you're going to need to do next. You're going to need to take that, you're going to need to drag it to the trash can.
I just airdrop the photo.
Oh, you just airdropped it to him? Okay, you guys are using some cloud technology. That's pretty advanced. Okay, so if everybody's got their image on their desktop, so the very next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into Photoshop, and then we are going to click New. Is that in the Photoshop open page, there's a section that says New. Click on that tab. Okay, so going off of what we had in the video, what size did we want this image to be?
1080 by 1080.
1080 by 1080, how many dots per inch?
300.
300, that's correct. So you're going to enter that into the field in front of you and then click Create. Okay, so move that to pixels. Yeah. Up, that one is 180, 180. You need 1080, 1080.
Oh.
1080 for both fields.
Oh, wait, sorry, what? Like, 18.
Okay. 1080.
Oh,
So,
sorry.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay, well. Here, click new file again, okay. 1080, 1080, and then 300 pixels. Okay, very good. Yeah, and that's correct too. Click create. Mm-hmm. 1080 by 1080. Yeah, very good. All right, and yours is done as well. Okay. So the first thing that you're going to do in order to start your image is you're going to take the image that you brought from your thumb drive and you're going to drag it directly into the white area of the Photoshop file. Does it matter?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Yeah. 1080 and then 1080. And then click 300 pixels. And then click create. Okay. That's good. Let me go around really quick. I'm just checking to see if everybody has their image inside of their palette. Yeah, okay, so that's good. Okay, so right now, you have an image in your palette, and it's also very likely that you have a blue border around that image with square boxes on it. What you can do is you can grab one of the corner square boxes and you can pull it outward so that it will stretch out and it'll fit the entire canvas. And so when you do it this way, you know that the image is going to scale in a way that keeps it the same size as the original picture. If you want to stretch it out, what was it that you needed to do from the video? Does anybody remember?
Hold shift.
You need to hold shift, that's correct. So go ahead and just fit that picture into that folder, anybody that you personally like, and if you do need to change the folder, and if you need to change the image's dimensions, then you need to hold down shift while you are moving the borders. How are you doing? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm not placed because the scratch discs are full. That's strange. I've never seen an error message like that. There might be something wrong with this image. You want to pull out something really quick, like off the web or something like that?
Yeah, that's
Okay, so just, saying that it's not connected to the internet. Well, it's not true. I was able to download Photoshop on it yesterday. I'll get back to you really quickly. Okay. So once you have everything up to your dimensions, go ahead and press the return key. So that will stay in that shape. And now we're going to begin to add text. Locate the text menu. The text section, the text part, the text toolbar. Sorry about that. And go ahead and line when you have. So once you click the text icon, the text icon on your screen is going to turn into a text parser. You've seen something that's similar to this when you worked on software websites like Word. So what you're going to do is you're going to center that somewhere on your image, and then you're going to click in order to open a text window. Once you've opened the text area, it will say lorem ipsum, and that is just kind of trial text that Photoshop automatically puts in. All right, so you've done it. Would I be able to see your thumb drive?
Oh, sure. Here. This one is true, sometimes this one's right.
Let me try to put you. I thought here.
So the picture, this one?
So,
This one?
yeah, all right. So should I pick up anyone?
Yeah, and
Okay. So first thing I drag it here so it's on the desktop, and then drag it here. That is strange. I mean, you were able to get your image off of this, and it was the exact same one, right?
yeah.
Let me just try something else. Okay. I think you might need to take a screenshot of this. Okay, so you remember how I taught you to do a screenshot? Hold down Shift Command, and then the number 4. Okay, and now we're going to take this and we're going to drag it across the image. So once that fades out, yeah, I know. I don't know why it's saying this or full. This is a brand new computer. Hold on just a moment. I think let's try to do this the more traditional way. Let's see. Go to on my computer. Okay.
Oh,
let me try to drag it in one more time. No, that's still recording. So we have the image, it's open in Photoshop, but we haven't been able to drag it so far. Copy. Well, it's in there, but it's very, very small. Okay.
So I can try with
So-
another file.
Well, I mean, we can still use this, but you know, we're gonna have to start with it at this size. And so continue to draw it out like that, and then just keep dragging it until it fits the sides of the image. And then once it does, then you can press enter. Okay, sorry for the delay, everybody.
Oh, dude.
Okay, so I see that you have entered text, you have entered text, you have entered text. All right. Okay, so once you have your text on your screen and you have it to your liking, then the next thing you guys are going to do is you're going to be adding a stroke and you're going to be adding a drop shadow. You're going to be doing this by using the blending options menu. So how is it that you found the blending options menu?
You can access it from double clicking the layer, right?
In the lower right-hand corner of the section where you have your layers menu, you can right-click on the image that has your text on it, and then you choose blending options. You are not on the right one menu, so right there, control and click. And then blending options is the very first one. Let's see, yeah, sorry about that, it says you're not on the right image, right?
I just want
Would you like to start over?
I like use that one to larger and screen.
All right,
I tried drag it inside.
okay, sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
So, go ahead and pick out the image that you want to use and then I'll get back to you. Okay? So, right now is that you have the choice of either doing, working on your stroke or working on your drop shadow. What has everybody started with? Have you started with your drop shadow?
Not yet, I'm still working on
I
the
started
stroke.
with stroke.
Stroke, okay. So you can see what your options are and you can see that, you know, how you're capable of changing the color, you're capable of changing the width of your stroke, whether you want it to be solid or something a little bit more of a glow. Okay, have you selected your new image?
Yes, I think it's, I like trying this.
Yeah, let me see what else in here. Let me have some here for it again. There just seems to be some kind of issue with how this computer is handling its memory. Let me try it, start by closing this. go ahead and start from here. So new file. So once again, this is supposed to be 1080 by 1080. And then this was supposed to be, oops, sorry about that. Run by, okay, so do you have your new image? Did you take it off your hard drive again and put it on the desktop?
Yes.
This one. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, that time it
It's
worked.
worked.
There was something the matter with the previous file, that's why none of these things were working before. Okay, so go ahead and take it from here. Stretch that out and so until it hits the canvas. Okay, you look just about done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've got a good drop shot on trip.
Yeah, that's very good.
Sweet, thank you.
All right. So then all you gotta do is you gotta save the Photoshop file and then you have to save your PNG file.
Okay.
Okay, so go to save on your computer
Okay.
and then save that. And so this is this first one, this is the PSD file.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
File name, click save.
I'm gonna put my name in there just in case. I
Mhm.
lose it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and then we're going to save a copy of it and we're going to make it into your PNG. So go to File, Save a Copy,
Okay.
and then, yeah, select PNG from the drop-down menu.
Right.
And then I think it has the same screen name except it has copy on the end of it.
Okay. That's fine.
So then click Save. All right. So, Ian, do me a favor, you're gonna leave the PNG on the desktop for me
Yeah.
to collect so for my final project.
Yep.
But other than that, then you're going to save it onto your portable hard drive so that you
Just
have a
the
copy
PNG.
of, well, your PSD and your PNG, because you want to take your own homework.
No, I mean,
your own work home.
for your, did you say PSD or PNG for your sake? For your
For
collection?
my save, just the PNG.
Okay,
Yeah, all right.
cool.
Okay, how are we doing over here?
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right, so I can see that you have a bevel and emboss instead of a stroke, you know? Well, I mean, one thing that you can do, well, yeah, go back to one. This is the easiest way. So you can uncheck the box that says bevel and emboss, and that'll remove it. I mean, really go over to the box and uncheck it. And then instead of doing that, go to stroke. So stroke is right here on the picture again. Huh? Okay. And so you can change the size of your stroke, you can change the color of your stroke. And what this is gonna do is this is gonna put an outline around your text that'll make it a little easier to read. So you have to, you know, if you want to, you can drag this menu up, down, and you can look at your image while you're doing this.
Does it change it automatically, or does it?
Yeah, it will change it as you're doing it.
Oh, I see.
So you can select a different color. I would recommend white because it's a very dark image. Yeah. Okay. So click OK. I think you have the width up particularly large.
This here, that structure. Yeah.
So you can adjust that until the lines are thinner or thicker, whatever you think might be better. Or you may have to change the color of your text.
Yeah.
You know, just play around with it until it's the way that is to your liking. All right.
You want to save as a PNG and you got PSD, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay, so, all right. So do me a favor, leave a copy of just the .png,
Okay.
so that I'll be able to turn that in as part of my project.
Okay. So just delete the Photoshop one?
Pardon me?
Just delete the Photoshop one?
I mean, you can keep it for yourself.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So, okay, so you have your image and you have your text, right? Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna try to add stroke and drop shadow. I see that you've added a stroke already.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So, let's try to see, I don't know if a drop shadow effect is going to look good, that's something that's up to you. Go ahead and control click. Go to blending options. It's at the very top.
Oh,
And then go to drop shadow. Okay, so, and also make sure that you actually click on the tab that says drop shadow, like somewhere in the middle right here. Pardon me. Let's see. It's just that, you accidentally added two sets of the same
Oh.
thing. So when you have a drop shadow, you can change the angle of it. You can change how far away it is from the image. And you can also change its color. Because right now it's black, and since it's against a black
Oh.
background, that makes it a little too hard to say, but you can make it like rare, or you can make it lighter, or white. And then you can add a shadow to the background of this. And so I'm gonna leave it here for you, and you can just play with these options and see if you can make that show a little bit better. Okay. All right. So yeah, so you did a very good job. You got right up to speed with absolutely everybody else right now. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to right click on your layer section right here where it says sunset. Right here where it says sunset, control click, sorry about that. And then choose blending options, it's the very first one. Okay, now you're going to try to add a stroke and a drop shadow. So the first thing that you're going to do, and also you can pull this menu down so you can still see what's happening on your image. Okay, and so that you can change the color of the so this is going to create an outline. And so it's going to be of a different color, and you're going to want to change the width of it right here where it says size. Okay, so just click the dial and then slide it left and right, and that will change what the outline around your text looks like. I mean, so right now it looks like it's solid blue. You want to bring that slider, the size slider, all the way down to maybe about 1 or 2, so it actually looks like an outline, but it doesn't look like a solid color. All right, and then you're going to go over to this other section that says drop shadow. And you're going to, so this is creating the shadow that you see just underneath your text. You can change that into a different color. You can put it at a different angle using this angle slider. And so, well, first click OK here.
Oh.
And then you can adjust these. And then you can figure out exactly how you want that shadow to look. And then once you're all done, click OK. All right, so this is going very well. It looks like you're just changing your font. You want to find something that looks a little bit better.
That's what I have so far.
All right.
Yeah.
So once you're all done with that, then I'm going to want you to save as a PDF and then save as a PNG copy.
Okay.
So you know how to start with that, right?
So,
Okay, so I believe you're done with your image, right?
Yeah.
And you're done with your image too?
Yes, sir.
All right, so, you're done, you're saving right now. Okay, that looks good, okay, so, then, now you're going to work on saving your image. Go to File, Save As, and then save on your computer. Okay, give it a file name. Okay, so before you click OK, this needs to be the desktop. So click here, go to desktop, and then click save. Okay, and then click OK. Okay, now we're going to save a copy. So then you go to save a copy. Save on your computer. And then, yeah, it's still on desktop, but then you have to choose a different format, which is PNG. Okay, and then click save. And then click OK. All right. Okay, so have you decided how you want to do your stroke and your drop shadow?
Like
Uh-huh.
1 or 2 minutes.
All right. Okay, so, yeah, you guys are done. So, how are you handling your save right now? Yeah? Do me a favor, is that, change this to desktop, so it'll save on the desktop rather than the back now. Yeah, click OK. Okay, and so this one is saving as a PSD. So go ahead and click OK, because we are saving that as a PSD. The next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna save that as a PNG. Oops. Clicked away from Photoshop and already changed the Finder. So go to save a copy. Save on your computer. And then change the format to PNG. So this section here that says format, we need to change that to PSD. PNG, yeah, that's correct. All right, so. Yeah, yeah. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna check in on the group in the back and then we're gonna start wrapping up. Let's see, I'd say it was about 15 minutes till, by 12 o'clock is when our lunch is going to be delivered. All right, here, close this for now, okay. Okay, so first we're going to choose File, and then Save As, and then save on your computer, and then type in a file name. No, not at all. It's your file. As a Photoshop. Yeah. And then click Save. And click OK. Okay, there it is as a Photoshop file. Then I'm going to want you to save it again as a PNG. So go to File, and then go to Save a Copy. Oh no, hang on. Okay, yeah, go ahead and click the red button. Okay, File, and then Save a Copy. save on your computer. And then choose, yeah, PNG, yes. All right, and then click save. Okay. All right, so you've completed everything, right? Okay, so I'm going to need to take a copy of each of your PNG files so that I will be able to show it as part of my project. If you need to make a copy, does any of you know how to make a copy using Mac? Just control click on it and then
Control click or command click?
control click.
Okay.
So,
Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay.
yeah, and then just make a copy of it and leave that on the desktop. Make sure that you take all of the files that you want to take home on your hard drive. Just drag them back, insert your hard drive again, drag the files back onto your hard drive, and then drag the hard drive into the trash to eject it.
So I just leave this copy.
Yeah, you leave that copy. So save the things that you want to keep, and then you can eject the hard drive again.
Should I delete which one?
Now, leave everything on the desktop for now. I just want to make sure that you're taking it home. And then you can click and then drag that towards the trash can to eject it. Oh, that's not quite it. Yeah. That's great, okay. Give it a moment because it's starting to wind down. Okay, now you can check it. Does she still need to save hers?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
All right. Okay, so I am sending so right now I'm going to be sending our exit survey. I'm going to be sending it to your email address, to your college email address. You can use the computer in order to access your Outlook, and you can answer it there, or you could also use your phone, whichever one you would prefer. See, sometimes the desktop fails me and even I end up using my phone. So I've sent you all the, I've just sent you all the exit poll. So you can go ahead and you can finish that on your phone. If you want to use your computer, you need to click on Safari. Safari is the compass-shaped icon that is on your Mac's desktop. Well, I see you're using your phone. You're using.
I have a question for saving too.
Sure.
I just couldn't figure out how to make a copy.
So when you're on your desktop right here, you can control click. So control click on your copy, and then
Or copy.
make alias. Oh, duplicate. No, sorry about that. It is duplicate. Sorry about that. Okay. So you can leave that. You can take everything else
So
home on your. So leave that one on the desktop. Save everything you want on your hard drive,
okay.
and then eject your hard drive.
How do I save it onto the hard drive?
Just drag and
Do I
drop.
do the same? Oh, okay. I can't. I don't make a copy of it.
This one is asking you to keep both stop or replace a file. So you have it on your hard drive now. So you can drag your hard drive into the trash to eject it. Okay, so everybody make sure you do have your survey in before our food gets here.
And how do we access the survey hub? What did you say?
I said that I had just sent it to you through your email. You can use it. You can use your phone, or I can also show you how to use it. Open a web browser on the computer, whichever you prefer.
How do you open the web browser on it?
You click on Safari. It's the compass-shaped icon that is in the third, in the middle, in the third one on the toolbar. Okay, and so then you can go to the top address bar, and then you can type in Outlook. So yeah, click on that first one, and then click sign in. Okay, enter your university email. So, how do you guys feel about working in Photoshop now? So, what do you think was more valuable in doing this workshop? Was it that I had sent the video a week before, or is that we had instruction in here?
I like both.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like your instruction in here just affirms the video? It's like
Yeah.
a second exposure to it.
Precisely, yeah.
I prefer the video, but that's just because I like to be able to go, okay, I know how to do that and skip through it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, oh, what was that again? I can go back. Because for some of it, I just watched the video while I was doing it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I couldn't do some of it, so I was like,
So the main thing that I'm testing here when it comes to this workshop is the fact that, I think a significant amount of people these days tend to get their Photoshop instructions and their general Adobe Creative Cloud constructions off of the internet. And so, I go way back when it comes to graphic design. Is that, I remember there was a time when I learned how to develop black and white photos. I learned how to use Pos One Kodak cameras. Those great big machines that took up most of the room and only made a black and white photo at the end of it. I used to do that. And my first exposure to Photoshop was with version 5. So I'm really dating myself here. That had to have been like 2001, 1999 through 2001. That's when people used to use Photoshop 5. But I've been able to keep up with it, and it's due to a large part that, I keep watching tutorials on places like YouTube. Does anybody have any experience with learning software by watching YouTube tutorials?
Yeah.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. What kind of software?
I mean, anything.
Anything? Just any
I mean,
software at all?
I edited like video and audio files using the software. I had no idea how to use it, so I just YouTubed it and found a great tutorial,
Yeah.
and it was very helpful.
Oh, yeah, And so, it's what's significant to me is that I've never really had to go back to school. I went through my training in school, but I've kept up to date because, people have just very kindly posted videos on social media.
Yeah.
Mhm. So we're thinking about, possibly doing some more of these workshops in the future for different programs in Adobe Creative Cloud. And so we primarily tend to teach in Adobe Creative Cloud because it's still the professional standard. Most graphic design and video editing groups tend to use Adobe Creative Cloud. And it would be necessary for you if you kind of want to do this while you're in the workforce. I know that, you still might have, you might possibly have other types of video or photo editing software on your computer. Does anybody want to shout one out by any chance?
I know like Sony Vegas and like Final Cut. Final
Yeah.
Cut's probably the most
Mm-hmm.
popular one next to.
And I've honestly used the Sony Vegas as probably the video editing software that I use the next most to
Yeah.
Adobe Premiere.
So,
I mean, and it's perfectly fine in order to do that. I mean, it's certainly convenient. I get my Vegas downloads off of Steam, which
yeah.
is where I buy all of my video games.
Yeah.
But it's you can when it comes to just having a more professional career, people just have a tendency to continue to work on Macs and they continue to use Adobe products because it's efficient, because it's it's standard. Since everybody is using it, everybody knows how to follow through with the types of video files that are made through other corporations.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, Apple's big thing is education, or well, their biggest thing back in the day was like providing the education. So
Mhm. Yeah.
that's why it became like an industry standard.
Okay, so have we all turned in an exit survey yet?
I
Yes.
have, yeah.
I think you're still working on it, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. So, we're talking about, we've been working on a lot of things, to get people in communication, more generally involved with creating media, because creating media is really just kind of the new way to conduct communication, is that, a lot of people have been talking about social media. And a lot of the new graduate level papers and examinations and studies have been based on social media, because we're looking at social media very carefully. We're trying to figure out how social media affects formal levels of communication. And, just every subject matter that we teach here, when it comes to politics, when it comes to social justice, when it comes to intercultural communication, it's really, it's really an exciting time right now to be a communication student. Because, you get to be the person to examine this, you get to be the person that is eventually going to write the scholarly papers and the more formal articles that are going to teach people how to work in communication.
Yeah, we're like constantly surrounded, or like constantly consuming content all the time, especially like, kids my age. I mean, like I'm in my 20s, but yeah, like, shit, most, majority of my friends, like, and I were like, probably on our phones a couple hours a day, like,
Yeah.
constantly being influenced, or like, just like I say, constantly being, constantly consuming.
And that's key, and those are key words when it comes to this kind of discussion. It's consuming
Yeah,
and also influencing.
yeah,
I've been in communication probably about 7 or 8 years. It was my minor in college, but that's another thing entirely. But, we never really considered ourselves influencers. We knew what we were going to eventually be doing. We knew we were eventually going to be writing articles, we were going to be doing copywriting, we were going to be working in places like blogs, and we were going to be working in places like LiveJournal. And that's already two things that have already gone completely out of date.
yeah,
Blogs and LiveJournal, nobody does it anymore. And everybody is talking about, what has been the political influence of something like Twitter. And I know you can already come up with 100 examples, because you've read your Twitter experiences, and so there's just a lot of rich material to mine here. Is that once you finish your undergrad, and once you start to get past your undergrad and up to my graduate level, you're going to get the opportunity to work with a lot of this material. It's really an exciting time to be in communication. Okay, so I believe we're all completed here, right? Can you guys do me a favor? Everybody stand up. So we are going to frame ourselves in front of the camera right here, so that we can have a group shot.
group shot.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so we're just going to have this. I'm going to take a still out of this later,
Oh,
Okay.
so that we can display for the department that you guys were here and you guys have
Yeah.
participated in the workshop. All right. Okay. So everybody on 3. 1, 2, 3. Cheese. All right.
Alright.
Okay, and we're out.
Should I sign out?